talking with Bob Cardillo today, our political analyst from Utica College, and focusing on the debate last night among the Democrats. We were talking about the Sheryl Crow national anthem during the commercials there. Kind of a shocker when she walked out on stage in that fantastic get-up that she had with the tight leather pants there, and then kind of, I don't know, maybe a B minus on the performance for the national anthem last night.
Hard song to sing. But she looked good.
She sure did, yeah. And other interesting aspects to that for particular debate as well. And we're also talking local politics, too, with Bob Cardillo. And yesterday we had former Utica Mayor Tim Julian right here in studio with us, talking about the downtown hospital location and how he fears that some businesses may be forced out in the process of putting a new building like that in. Here's some of the comments he made yesterday on the show.
To say we're going to put this hospital here, I think really, I think not only will it dead end some streets, but I think it'll dead end some development in downtown Utica. My bigger concern is that due to the fact that Edge is really kind of driving this process, right, what's going to go on with the buildings that are there now? And they talk about St. Elizabeth's Hospital. St. Elizabeth's Hospital is particularly worrisome to me because it is sitting inside a desirable residential neighborhood.
Sure is.
I saw the mayor one day, and I saw he had one of his associates with him from City Hall, and they said, well, there's a lot of interest in the building. I said, well, like who? Well, a lot of interest. Well, a lot of interest doesn't sate my desire to know who, as a property owner in South Utica and as a taxpayer in the city of Utica. Is it going to be more low to moderate income housing? Because we really don't need that.
Tim Julian yesterday on the show. Bob, your thoughts on those comments, specifically about dead ending some potential new businesses and maybe forcing some others out of the area? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think in terms of the hospital being downtown, there's two big issues. One, I think, is the funding aspect of it. And from what I understand, if the hospital is not built downtown, there's a great deal of funding that we don't get. That's number one.
$500 million, right?
Yes, I think I thought it was 3 to 5, but it's right, $500 million.
It's 3 that we've got secured.
Correct.
Right.
And
Then
another
right.
2. Right. So, but the $300 million isn't there if it's not built.
Right.
downtown.
It needs to be built within the criteria was a radius within.
Yes. So. Yes. So that's one issue. The second issue is, I do think that from a interest point of view of hospitals working together, we've been rather unique in upstate New York, because that's the reason why I think they selected Utica for the funding, because St. Elizabeth's and St. Luke's are working together. Having said that, we need traffic downtown. You need people.
Sure.
I don't understand how it cannot be a positive thing to have traffic downtown for businesses that can eat off of, quite frankly, the folks that are going to be going downtown for medical needs. Okay? I don't know what else you're going to put there. I don't know. We're going to have skyscraper buildings, and we're going to have insurance companies move down there.
Sure, I know.
Utica National built the building, and then, quite frankly, they don't really use it. We've got an issue with the Hotel Utica. Build the hospital, which will generate activity, and activity generates business. So I don't know how it's a net loss to anybody. I really don't.
Some of the opponents, I know Jim Brock saying nobody wants to live next to a hospital downtown in any type of situation. And he's saying that they'd like more arts and culture. Well, just because you put a hospital in a downtown location doesn't mean you can't also have arts and culture. And you're not going to have just arts and culture. You need all sorts of different types of businesses.
Absolutely. Well, look, Utica College now. I teach a class. Our first class downtown is Monday nights, and next semester this is fabulous. Well, it's a breeding ground for activity. Let's keep it moving. And look, they're not always the best situation, if you will, but it's better than we've been looking at those buildings that they're talking about for years. Okay, I remember when Ray Secan had his stuff, and that building is still dilapidated.
Right, the roof caving in.
The roof caved in. I mean, it's been the only building that was ever really done down there. Actually, was the building that I had done, which was Columbia Place. That was a great deal of consternation during the campaign 4 years ago. It's still there, paying taxes. I think it's one of the buildings that I believe that would come down, but that's the only building that was really renovated down there.
And you mentioned Utica College. at it was 181 Genesee Street, I think now.
Right. It's the Adirondack Bank
Yeah.
building. Well, which was the old Stetson Harza building.
Yeah, the Harza
And quite frankly, the Harza building, that building was empty for a multitude of years. I think it was like 15, 18 years.
And Tom Clark also with the Adirondack Bank building, buying it for $1 and rehabbing that a bit.
Right.
Our former home, by the way, the Adirondack Bank building, which I never got a chance to broadcast from. Thank God. I'm happy here in the brand new digs that we have.
This is great.
By the way, we're talking to Bob Cardillo, the current professor at Utica College here, and our political analyst on the show, on the Talk of the Town.
The other interesting part of this is if you talk about, you mentioned Jim Brock talked about cultural. There are a lot of cultural aspects to downtown, and you need to have a multi-needs community. And if you get people down there, I keep thinking about the Stanley. God, that place is beautiful. I don't understand how it cannot be something that on a daily basis should be having more and more activity.
Right.
The more people you get to come downtown. Look at just now with some of the activity that's going on, the restaurants that are opening. Look at Ocean.
Ocean Blue, great.
You know, there's great things that are gonna potentially happen, and there's some of us that meet for coffee and we talked about, open a business like this or put another. You need people. If you don't have people, you don't have traffic, you're not going to be able to create the income.
And that was back to my conversation that I was trying to ensue with you as far as the Utica College, taking place downtown. You mentioned Monday was some of your first classes. Do you know roughly how many classes are taking place down there? How many folks are coming in and out of that area?
The business school, the Utica College Business School, which is where at Utica College I teach in the business school, and at MV I teach political science. The business school at Utica College, under the direction of Dr. James Norrie, is moving all of their facilities downtown. And all the business school students will be able to go between the two campuses. And all the business professors will maintain offices both at the campus on Burstone Road and downtown. And what a better way to promote a business school than to have it in a downtown business section.
Exactly. Right. And you mentioned professors and students.
Absolutely.
Two different kind of walks of life.
Right.
Joining the folks downtown, whatever it may be, business, commerce, food. So I think it's on the up and up. I think it's on the upswing.
I think so.
All right, Bob, thanks for visiting with us. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Yep,
My
I'd
pleasure.
love to have you back
Anytime.
as the political process continues both nationally and locally here on the Talk of the Town.